Hello and welcome to another episode of the Golden Wrestling Convo. I'm your host, like always, Golden Era of Golden Era Gaming. I am going to use this opportunity to talk about the draft. As you see here, we have two different wrestlers from two different parts of the draft. AJ Styles, of course, being drafted to SmackDown, and Sami Zayn being drafted to Raw. So, just like that, this is now a dream match, because this is a match that can no longer happen on a week-to-week basis, which is a shame, because this would be an amazing match. I also chose to do this match because, as you see, AJ is wearing the blue for SmackDown, and Sami Zayn is wearing the red for Raw. So, now, I'm not going to go over who's on what brand, because, you know what I mean, I'm late with this. It's already Thursday. More than likely, you know who got drafted where and whatnot. That's not why you're on this channel. You're on this channel to watch, the best pro wrestling games, and I say that, with confidence, because I play a lot of pro wrestling games. I don't just play 2K16, you know what I mean? So you come here to watch the best pro wrestling games, to watch No Mercy with the best mods, to watch, King of Coliseum 2 and Fire Pro, but you also come here to get a different view on pro wrestling. And what I'm going to talk about today is how everybody talking shit is way off, just way off. Because, like, from what I've seen from like threads on Reddit and on other YouTube channels, pretty much everybody is like, oh well, Raw got the better superstars, and this is stupid. Why should I watch SmackDown? Why are they even doing this? It's pretty much the same thing, this, that, and the other, and it's not. Like, it's not the same thing in any way, shape, or form. And I think the reason this was done is because of time. You know what I mean? The way things were set up right now, the fans that would go to see SmackDown, they expected a certain something. They expected to see, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and all of that stuff. So then a lot of the undercard guys, they didn't really get a chance to shine. And what that really means is that they didn't have time. With the roster being split up like it is now, what it's going to do is it's going to allow time to somebody like AJ Styles, somebody like Kalisto, somebody like Dean Ambrose. These are all amazing pro wrestlers. But now they're going to be given more time. Excuse me. Like, for example, I look at, like, Kalisto. Like, the match I have in my memories of Kalisto is like Kalisto versus Ryback, or Kalisto versus Neville. And I don't think any of those matches went more than 10 minutes, which is a shame. It's a goddamn shame, because Kalisto can go. And I know right now it's really funny to laugh at his botched interview, because let's be real, that shit was funny. But the guy can go in the ring, you know what I mean? And the same goes for, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Apollo Crews, and a lot of the SmackDown draft, the SmackDown roster. They can really go. Bray Wyatt, even John Cena, as of late, has been putting on spectacular matches. But the thing is, there's no fucking time. Everybody's been bitching about how, Raw has been horrible for who knows how long, and how SmackDown sucks. And I mean, you're not wrong. It's just that there's no fucking time. How the fuck are Kalisto and Neville supposed to have this amazing match when they only get 10 minutes? You know what I mean? They're not going to have an amazing match with 10 minutes. But now you give me, Kalisto versus Apollo Crews. You give them 15 minutes on SmackDown, and maybe they could do something. Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles, 20 minutes on SmackDown. Maybe they could do something. You know what I mean? And it's also a huge positive for, like, the women as well. Like, everybody's like, oh, why is Becky Lynch on SmackDown? It's just bullshit. But, like, for the past, I don't know, for the past year or two, fucking Becky Lynch has been having 3-minute fucking matches. Like, ever since she came up from the fucking roster, and everybody from the NXT roster. And everybody's complaining, like, oh, well, why? How come the fans don't like Becky Lynch as much as we like her, the fans from NXT? And it's like, because if you watched NXT, she was having 20, 30 fucking minute matches. You know what I mean? At the fucking takeover shows, and even on the weekly shows. Sometimes it would just be her match, and it'd be a good fucking 20 minutes. She doesn't get that kind of fucking time on Raw. For fuck's sake, she doesn't get that kind of time at the pay-per-views. But now with this fucking draft split, with this brand split, I mean, with the draft or whatever the fuck, maybe she'll get the time. And people are complaining about it like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, there's no women on SmackDown or whatever the fuck. And it's like, yes, there is. Considering it's a fucking 2-hour show. And considering they're going to give more time to the superstars or wrestlers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, then they have plenty of a roster. Fucking Natalya and Becky can go 10-15 minutes. Easy. They're going to be given that time on SmackDown. That's time that they couldn't have on Raw. Because when you look at Raw, and I mean, it's not difficult. Anybody who watches Raw should fucking know. Anybody who's been watching wrestling long enough should know. Raw is fucking 20 minutes of fucking promo time. Fucking then a match, no more than 10 minutes. Fucking 10 minutes of backstage promo time. Then a match. Usually that's the match that's pretty long. Could even sometimes go 30 to 40 minutes. Then another fucking promo for 30 minutes. Like, that's what Raw is. That's what Raw has always been. And SmackDown has always just been fucking recaps of Raw. That's all SmackDown's been. But now with this split, they're claiming that there's going to be wrestling on SmackDown. And the roster shows it. Because the roster is good. It's talented workers that haven't been given time. So if they're now given time, we as fans are now going to like them. We're going to relate to them. And it's small things too. Things that you don't really comprehend unless you pay attention to it. And it's something that I caught when I first started watching Nakamura about 2 or 3 years ago. I didn't like Nakamura when he was younger. Back in New Japan, like 2007, 2008, around then I want to say. I had watched New Japan here and there, but you know, nothing stood out to me about Nakamura. Nothing stood out to me about New Japan in general. I was much more of a person, you know, a guy back then. So even though I had heard Nakamura's theme, I didn't think it was anything spectacular, you know, at the time. And I didn't think Nakamura himself was anything spectacular. You know, there's a much different Nakamura than we have now. Then about 2-3 years ago, when AJ Styles went to New Japan, I was like, well, I should check it out. And then when I started watching New Japan again, I saw that Hiroshi Tanahashi and Nakamura had they've evolved. You know, they'd matured. Their characters, their personalities, and their movesets had changed. But Shinsuke Nakamura still had the same song. You know what I mean? His song hadn't changed. So the first time I heard it, I was like, whatever. But then he went out and he had an amazing fucking match. You know, and then like in my subconscious, you know, what registered in my mind was, when I hear that theme, there's going to be an amazing fucking match. Now the first time, ain't too big of a fucking deal. But then he went out and he did it again. You know, the second match I saw with him, his theme came on, then he came out and he had an amazing fucking match. So now I'm getting conditioned. You see what I'm saying? And by the 10th time or so that I watched this Shinsuke Nakamura match in New Japan, I was fucking popping as soon as the music came on. Not because the music was great or because this, that, or the other. Excuse me. But because I had been conditioned that when I hear Nakamura's theme, I'm going to have a badass match, a 4 stars and up match. And the same thing has happened to me in NXT, you know what I mean? When I watch American Alpha, you know, the first couple times I saw them, I thought their music was I thought their matches were you know? But as they got better, the same theme song started registering in my head as more and more amazing, because I was being conditioned, you know. At first, their theme song meant I was going to get a mediocre match, you know, a subpar match, 3-star match. But, you know, near the end of their NXT run, it meant I was going to get close to a 5-star match. And now I love that theme. And every time it comes on, I pop for it because I've been conditioned. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is, a lot of the stars that were on Raw, such as Apollo Crews, even somebody like Dean Ambrose, you know, they weren't given enough time for that conditioning to take place. And now on SmackDown, they're going to have it. So everybody's like, oh, well, the fans aren't into it, this, that, and the other. It's because there's no fucking time. Like, even like the Zayn Owens feud, You know what I mean? Amazing feud. I don't think they've had a match that goes over 20 minutes. And they've been feuding for like a year. There's just no fucking time. There's been no fucking time. All the time has been relegated to the main event, to Reigns and Seth and you know, to whatever match Cena's in. And then everybody else gets less than 15 minutes. But there's so many fucking superstars on the roster. You know, you still gotta get in Rusev and Miz and all this fucking shit. And the tag titles and the women's titles. And, you know, you end up with a show at Raw, at WrestleMania, I mean, where it was like fucking 8 hours. You know, and nobody fucking wants to watch 8 hours of wrestling in one night. You know, so splitting it up like this. Well, I mean, I do, but I'm hardcore. Splitting it up like this makes perfect fucking sense. And the Raw that's on SmackDown is perfectly fine. It's not the B show like everybody's saying. It's just the show that needs to condition the fans so that they can see how good an AJ Styles is, how good an Apollo Crews is, how good a Baron Corbin is, how good a Dolph Ziggler is, so that music can be conditioned into your brain, and so that you can want to pop for them. Because as of now, nobody's popping. And it's not the wrestlers' fault. The wrestlers are amazing. It's that we haven't been conditioned because they haven't been given enough time. And with SmackDown having the smaller roster, with it, hopefully, God, I pray to God that they don't fucking just show a bunch of goddamn replays of what happened the night before. It really has the potential to elevate a lot of them. You know, American Alpha and AJ and John Cena and Bray Wyatt even. So yeah, Raw has a lot of great stars. You know, they're going to, because they're the flagship. That's just how it is. But I think SmackDown will eventually end up being the better show, because they're going to put on great matches. I'm excited for the Cruiserweights on Raw. I'll make another video talking about the Cruiserweight Classic. And I think everybody should just give SmackDown a chance. I think it's going to be good. I haven't watched the G1 yet from NJPW, but I'm very excited to watch that because Naomichi Marufuji did beat Okada, so I definitely want to watch that. And I definitely want to watch the first round of the Super J Cup. However, I probably won't be watching that for a month or two because I am going to buy New Japan World. Like always, thank you for hearing me rambling. Let the conditioning happen, y'all. I'm telling y'all, Apollo Crews isn't bad. You know, Baron Corbin isn't bad. They're not bad. Be for victory. Peace.